When you think of the Cavaliers offense, you think of Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley first. Max Strus and Jarrett Allen are way down the priority list in terms of guys the Cavs try and generate shots for, but those two, Strus and Allen, have developed this special chemistry in the pick and roll this season that Kenny Atkinson and his staff have gone back to time after time after time when they need a bucket. You don't think of Strus as a primary ball handler or a creator off those situations, but with him and Allen, it's been money for the Cavs this season. I actually asked Kenny Atkinson about that combination after their win against the Knicks on Thursday night. This is what Kenny had to say about why Strus and Allen work so well together.
Quite honestly, I think Max coaches him, because he had that chemistry with Bam. He tells me all the time, I tell Bam how to set the screen, what angle to turn, where I want the ball. So, Max, he's talks, and Evan too. He wants Evan to do it more. But him and J.A. got a real good thing. And we actually put in two sets for just that specific action to add because it's been so good for us.
Let's break down a few plays now that show why this pick and roll action between Strus and Allen is so effective and what makes it so difficult to stop if you're the opponent. This first play comes against the Knicks from Thursday night. Jarrett Allen is going to be in the middle of the court, catch the ball, and right here's what you're looking at. It's a little bit of a ghost screen action. Darius and Strus, they're not going to make contact with each other. They're just going to essentially get in the way and force New York to make a decision. Do you switch? Do you stay on your guy? In this case, the Knicks are going to switch, and DeLon Wright, who's in the middle here, is going to end up trailing Max Strus around this screen. Now, that's important because as Strus comes off, that Allen screen, even though he didn't set it very hard, now has DeLon Wright in trail position behind Strus, leaving Karl Anthony Towns to guard the paint and to guard Max Strus because he's a three-point threat. You can't leave him wide open. So what happens as Strus comes off this screen here? We'll play it slow by slow. Cat stays too high, has to pick up Strus. DeLon Wright, who had to trail around, remember, he started here. He trailed all the way around the screen, are out of position. Josh Hart is the help side guy, but because Darius Garland's a 40% three-point shooter, he can't help off there. That leaves an alley-oop wide open. Strus, you can see, is already in the process of making that pass, delivers it on the money to Jarrett Allen for the emphatic dunk. When this play runs back again, you'll see a replay in 1 second. It's a slight motion. It's a ghost screen. But look how quickly DeLon Wright has to make a decision. By this point, that little ghost screen that was set here was effective enough to get him Max Strus's back hip. And once he's on the back hip, it's basically over. You're playing 2-on-1 basketball, and Cat has to guard both you and the bucket at the same time because of the spacing Garland creates. When you get all those elements at once, it leads to an easy alley-oop. Let's go to the next clip here. We'll restart it from the get-go. This is against the Magic. Same action, same principles, just a different setup. Instead, this time, Max Strus is going to fake a handoff to Darius, who's going to end up coming to the corner. Franz Wagner and Corey Joseph, they're going to have to decide, do we switch? Do I hedge? What do I do? In this instance, they decide not to switch, but because of how deep Franz was and because of the respect Darius has, when Strus gets over the screen from Allen, it's once again going to put Wendell Carter Jr. here in a 2-on-1 situation because look how far Franz has to go to get over. By the time he's on his hip, it is a 2-on-1 situation. Max Strus is too good of a ball handler, too good of a playmaker to give him those kind of opportunities. Wendell Carter Jr. did a better job than Cat did in the last clip of taking away the shooting space but also getting back. But in 2-on-1, you can't give up the layup, so you have to make Max Strus be a decision maker. In this case, Strus makes the right decision. As soon as Wendell Carter Jr. shows a sliver of help, he dumps it off to Allen for the easy dunk. Still don't know how that wasn't a foul, but it is what it is. Once again, it's not even a screen here from Allen. Strus is not over the spot yet, and he's already slipping to the basket. When he makes that decision, Wendell Carter Jr. has to decide, do I stay, do I show, or do I get back and recover? Because it's happening so fast, because Strus pushes the ball out and ahead of him, as soon as he comes around here, watch this next dribble. Right in this area here, watch this next dribble from Max Strus. He's going to push it out to create that space. Franz Wagner's too far behind, and at that point, it's an easy dunk. Another clip. This one's against Memphis. Similar situation. Remember that fake ghost screen I showed you against the Knicks in the first clip? In this instance, Garland's going to be the one to deliver the pass to Jarrett Allen, and Strus is going to set a back screen here on Jalen Wells. Desmond Bane, this guy right here, Desmond Bane is in charge of guarding Max Strus on this play. But because Strus set the slightest of back screens on Jalen Wells, he has to respect the fact that Darius could come flying to the corner for an open three. Because of that, watch how late he is getting to Max Strus on this pick and roll action. By the time Strus catches, Desmond Bane is barely in the picture. Because Desmond's barely in the picture, Zach Edey has to respect that three-point shot. So he comes up, and that's going to leave the widest of wide open lanes to deliver a bounce pass for Jarrett Allen. Look at Edey's feet. At this point, Edey's hips, they're facing this sideline. There is no way Zach Edey at 7'4" can recover to the alley here that Strus is going to deliver the pass, and then Allen's going to dunk it home. But that all happens because of the slight ghost screen that starts the action, forcing Desmond Bane to be late in help. And just, it's subtle. He touches him. It's barely a screen. It so happens so quickly. But because of that, it allows so much room for Strus to come off this handoff, and Bane is just simply way too late getting back to recover, and it results in an easy dunk. 3 plays, 3 pick and rolls, 3 handoffs, whatever you want to call it, the action's the same, from the top of the key, ending in easy finishes for Jarrett Allen. But it's not just from the top of the key. The Cavs also run this kind of action from the corners, from the sidelines. In this instance, Jarrett Allen's going to catch it in this area. It's a 2-on-2 in the corner. You think that would benefit the defense. We got 2 guys. You have 2 offensive players, but we have both sidelines to help us out. But that's not the case because of how efficient Strus and Allen are in this action. When Allen catches, it's going to be a simple dribble handoff. Strus is going to come back over. And because of the three-point threat that Max Strus is, despite the shooting numbers not being as high as you would like, he's still a threat. Teams still respect the fact that he'll pull up on any given moment. Batum's going to come over this screen and help. And James Harden's going to have to show, because if he doesn't, that's a wide open 3. What happens when the 2 Clippers defenders show? Well, that leaves a gigantic area for a dump-off pass for Jarrett Allen. I'm going to let this play out. You can watch for yourself. 2 guys help. At this point, after 4 plays, hopefully you guys have learned enough to know that if both guys show, that leaves a lot of weak side help for a dump-off. Strus delivers it to perfection. You've seen it from the top of the key. You've seen it from the corner. And the numbers back this up. And let's take this next graphic full here. On the season, Max Strus has thrown 43 assists to Jarrett Allen this season. That is more than twice the number of assists he has to any other player on the Cavs. And for comparison's sake, Donovan Mitchell to Jarrett Allen this season only has 40 assists. Strus has 3 more assists to Jarrett Allen than Donovan does. And nobody is a bigger recipient of passes from Max Strus that lead to buckets than J.A. Donovan, Darius, and Evan get the headlines for the Cavs, but this little pick-and-roll action, dribble handoff action between Strus and Allen is something Kenny Atkinson goes to when the team needs a bucket, and it's something I expect to see even more of come playoff time.